I didn't mean to smile. It just happened, an automatic lift at the corners of my mouth, like my face had reached conclusion before I did. This isn't a letter I'm sending. It's the kind you write to steady your hands. I called because Christmas had always been a truce. Not a celebration, just a pause in hostilities. I had learned to pack myself into the call the way you pack a suitcase for a short trips, essentials only, nothing fragile. I said I'd be coming home. I kept my voice neutral. I waited. My mother didn't hesitate. Don't come, she said, brisk, efficient. This is only for special people. There it was, the category. I'd lived outside it for years without anyone naming it out loud. Once named, it felt oddly clean. I said, what a pity. I had a special gift. I wasn't bluffing. I wasn't threatening. I wasn't even thinking very far ahead. The truth had been sitting quietly in my pocket for months, heavy and patient, waiting for the right weather. After we hung up, I sat at the kitchen table and let the room stay quiet. No music, no pacing. I made tea I forgot to drink. I didn't cry. I felt organized. Here's the part that sounds calculated, but the gift wasn't for them. A year earlier, my aunt, my father's sister, the one who remembered birthdays, had died. She left me executor of a small trust she'd set up decades ago, a family thing, modest but meaningful. I was supposed to distribute it in accordance with family priorities, a phrase that had seemed quaint at the time. I hadn't touched it yet. Grief does that to you. It makes paperwork feel like profanity. But grief also clarifies. In the months after her funeral, I learned more I wanted to about how my parents had handled money, favors, and people. Who counted? Who didn't? Who was special? The trust wasn't large enough to change lives, but it was large enough to reveal intentions. And the authority to decide sat quietly with me. After the call, I didn't rush. I read the documents again. I called the trust attorney. I asked questions that had answers. I scheduled nothing festive. Christmas came and went without me. On the morning of the 26th, my phone buzzed once. Then again. Then it didn't stop. Missed calls stacked like snowdrifts. My mother, my father, the numbers I recognized as cousins, then a landline I hadn't seen since childhood. 88 missed calls by the end of the day. I didn't listen to the voicemails right away. I knew the arc. Confusion to concern to urgency to accusation. I let the pattern finish itself without my participation. What changed wasn't my silence. It was the mail the attorney sent the notices. Formal, neutral. Precise. The trust beneficiaries were revised. Funds reallocated to organizations my aunt had quietly supported, scholarships, a food pantry near the old neighborhood, a legal clinic for tenants. There was a small remainder set aside for family, distributed evenly and without ceremony. No favorites, no categories, no special people. Authority doesn't need to explain itself twice. When I finally listened to the messages, my mother's voice had lost its efficiency. We need to talk, she said, again and again, like repetition could reopen a door. My father sounded offended first, then wounded, then practical. He asked what could be done. He asked what I wanted. I noticed he didn't ask why. I replied once. A single message. I said I wouldn't be coming for Christmas or New Year's or to discuss the trust. I said the decisions were final. I wished them well. I meant it in the limited way I was capable of meaning it. There was no explosion after that. Just fallout, the quiet kind that settles. I spent Christmas afternoon walking in the cold with a friend who knew how to keep pace without filling space. We ate soup from paper bowls. We watched kids drag sleds uphill with the stubborn hope that gravity could be negotiated. Here's the part I'm still sorting. I didn't feel victorious. I felt lighter, yes, but also sad in a way that didn't ask to be fixed. Exclusion hurts even when it frees you, especially then. My parents sent a card. No apology. No accusation. A photograph from years ago slipped inside, as if evidence of a shared past could stand in for care. I put it back in the envelope and donated the card to the recycling bin with the kind of respect you give to something finished. If this sounds cold, it isn't meant to. It's accurate. I learned something that winter belonging you have to audition for isn't belonging. It's labor. And labor deserves terms. I didn't take anything away from them that wasn't already conditional. I didn't humiliate anyone. I didn't argue my worth into existence. I just stopped standing in the doorway, waiting to be waved in. The missed calls slowed. Life reorganized itself around the absence of negotiation. This letter stays unsent because it doesn't need a reader. The boundary is already doing its job. That was the gift, not money, not leverage. Clarity, delivered quietly, when the room finally went still.